Brandon Moreno is back, ladies and gentlemen. After a little bit of a hiatus, he has just come back and completely demolished Amir Albazi through all 5 rounds. He clean swept him, dude. He pieced him up every single round. He hit him with a bit of everything. A couple of left hooks, a couple of right hooks, some straight jabs, elbows, high kicks, body kicks, you name it. He did it. He destroyed Amir Albazi. But I gotta give credit to Amir Albazi. The guy is a tough son of a gun. He took that damage and he survived. The guy's got a heart of a lion. He is a future contender, no doubt, but there's a lot of work and experience that he has to gain in this division. But Brandon Moreno, man, let me tell you all something. The guy was gone for a little bit, but he is back to peak form. That's literally all he needed, man. After a couple of bad fights, took his time, reassessed himself, and is back to peak form Moreno. You know, the guy has been through a lot. He went to war with Pantoja. He went to war with Davidson Figueiredo. The next fight for him to make is gotta be him against Brandon Royval. They have to do the trilogy. I mean, they've each won a fight. Brandon Moreno knocked him out the first time. And then Brandon Royval beat him in his home soil of Mexico and pieced him up through all 5 rounds. That is the fight the UFC have to make, because the flyweight division, realistically right now, is at a stalemate. You know, Amir Albazi is gone as a future contender. He could always bounce back later on, but right now, the flyweight division needs fresh faces. And the only fresh face they have in the flyweight division is Kaya Sakura. And we haven't seen anything of him yet. We're only going to find out when he fights Pantoja for the title. We also got Kai Kara-France, but Kai Kara-France has been in the mix before. He's lost to Brandon Moreno. He's lost to some of the top guys too. He's lost to Amir Albazi as well. So the division as a whole is at a stalemate. And the only solution right now to save the division for more attention is Kai Asakura to bring fresh fights into the pecking order. But we'll find out between Alexandre Pantoja and Kai Asakura later. That's at UFC 310. We'll see it later on in December. But the fight now that the UFC has to make is Brandon Royval versus Brandon Moreno for the 3rd time. And who wins that fight, honestly? Look, Brandon Moreno did look really good today. He looked fantastic. But Brandon Royval also looked really good against Tatsuro Taira. Like, he was piecing up Taira on the feet through and through. Obviously, Taira took him down, put some work on Brandon Royval in the ground. But at the same time, Brandon Royval was pretty crafty for the most part and just took the W. It was a clean slate, to be honest. I thought he took it with flying colors. There was no doubt about it that he was going to win that fight. I think Brandon Moreno this time around could beat Brandon Royval. It's going to be a tough fight, but if he fought the way he did today against Brandon Royval is going to have some problems with the assassin, baby. And that's truly what they have to do. I mean, the Rose fight was pretty good. Thug Rose against Aaron Blanchfield was a decent fight to sit through. I did not expect it being 5 rounds. I literally only found out it was 5 rounds when we got to round 4. I was so confused. I'm like, dude, we're really doing co-main events in fight nights 5 rounds now? I think that's kind of absurd in my opinion. It drags out the fights for too long at that point. But you know, I'm not going to be a hater. Another 10 minutes of UFC fights is not that big of a problem. And that fight overall was pretty good. I didn't think it was going to be a unanimous decision. The way I scored it, I thought it should have been at least a split decision. But, you know, Aaron Blanchfield, she came through in those last 3 rounds. Doug Rose was piecing her up in the first 2, but she persevered. She was able to take her down in the 5th and the 3rd round and just control her there and manhandle her. And she did what she had to do to take the W, so credit to her. And the rest of the fights in the card were pretty bang average and boring. Caio Machado versus Brenison Ribeiro. It was good in the 3rd round, but nothing crazy. Jasmine Judvicious got the submission. And look, Ayman Zahabi beat Pedro Munoz. Pedro Munoz is a tough dude. And Mikey Malott, finally back in the win column. He got fraud checked by Neil Magny. He beat Trevin Giles. I know Trevin Giles isn't nothing crazy, but he did what he had to do to get the W. And he's back on the win column. Overall, the Canadians made a comeback in this fight night after every male Canadian lost at UFC 297. That's all I gotta spout and say today. Anyways, people, good game, boys. Catch you later. Deuces, I'm out.